Chapter 5 of our textbook talks about outlining your speech, and then it starts off with different parts of your outline. So obviously you have your introduction, your conclusion, your body, in between those two, and then a source page. A good important tip for outlining is to use full sentences. A lot of people get in the habit of just jotting down bullet points. This is good for later on in the outlining stage, but in the very beginning, this will hurt the public speaker because it won't get full thoughts into the head of the presenter. So when he's going over his outline and when he's getting ready to give his speech, he'll just have these like 2 or 3 word thoughts and not these full concepts and ways to kind of transition between things. So it's really important to keep full sentences in your, at least your beginning phases of the outline. Cover only one issue at a time. That's another thing. People kind of tend to get ahead of themselves when making outlines and kind of jump around and get halfway through covering one issue and then try to start explaining another idea. Just make sure you're staying focused on one, clearly do that, and then go to the next. The first step, sometimes, according to the book, is develop the introduction and conclusion. And I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. Sometimes I find it's easier to make an introduction after you've written the body. Same thing with conclusion. And it also talks about how to format, but once again, I think that this is a kind of a personal thing. So I disagree with these two parts of the book. I understand where they're getting at, but I think you can't, everyone has different learning styles, and outlining is a form of learning because you're trying to learn your own speech. So I think it would be wrong of them to say that there's only one way to format. You have to do it in this order every time for it to be perfect. In your outline, you want to make sure you have some sort of notation on how you're going to create links. So maybe you're explaining an idea and then you want to explain another idea which includes that idea. So idea 1, you've explained it. Okay, now that you understand idea 1, here's idea 2 and how you can go further in depth into that. And a good way is, they used a weird thing here. I'm not sure exactly how they did it. I like to just draw arrows on mine a lot of times. And then it talks about the 3 different forms of an outline. There's a working outline, which this is your bare minimum. You're starting. You're just kind of organizing your thoughts. You're still in the creation stage. You're just putting your thoughts onto a piece of paper to try to figure out what you're going to do, get a little bit organized. Then the preparation outline is much longer, and according to the book, once again, much more formal. They say you should type it and double space it, but this is just your outline to really get your ideas into your head. So this is when you're writing in full sentences. You're clearly explaining everything that you're going to talk about, and this is the one you're going to practice off of a little bit and just read and make sure you really understand. And then you have your delivery outline. This is going to be much more succinct than the preparation outline, so this is going to eliminate a lot of the details, because by this point you should really have it down to a point that you don't even need a delivery outline. This is just kind of your note cards with your bullet points, so just in case you forget where you are or want to make sure that you're on track or at the right spot, you can just take a quick look, see your bullet points, you're in the right spot, okay, keep going.